For today's recipe, Link will be joined by IQ, Gastro Bob, and Yar, Captain Cook. And backed up as always by Guinea Page and the Animal Crackers.
Today, we're gonna make deviled eggs. They're great finger food that you've probably enjoyed at picnics or parties. They're really easy to make, so now you can enjoy them at home. To make deviled eggs, you'll need 12 large eggs, 3/4 of a cup of light mayonnaise, fresh lemon juice, half a teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of fine sea salt. For a lot of us, boiling an egg will be the first thing we ever cook. Our recipe calls for boiling 12 large eggs. 1, 'Oh no, I only have 11 large eggs. I know, I'll substitute with one of these smaller eggs. It's a good idea to wash your hands before and after handling raw eggs. I'm gonna cover these eggs with 1 inch of cold water. And with our stove on high, we'll bring the water to a boil. When the water starts to boil, we'll turn off the heat and put a top on our pot. We'll let the egg sit for 10 minutes. Gastro Bob, got your timer ready?
You betcha, Link. We're all set.
I think we're set to hear from Captain Cook. Ahoy, matey!
Ahoy, me matey! I relish deviled eggs. We pirates have been gobbling up since before I got me first gold tooth. But I wonder if you could enlighten me, Link, and tell me why these tasty morsels be called deviled eggs.
Originally, deviled food meant cooking meats with spices like cayenne or dried mustard to give it some heat. Nowadays, deviled means combining food with mayonnaise and other seasonings like deviled ham or deviled crab, and of course, deviled eggs.
Ah, so deviled eggs not be wicked, but they be wickedly good.
Ah, eggs are ready, Link.
Thanks, Gastro Bob. Now, we'll carefully drain out all the hot water. And with our eggs still in the pot, we'll refill with cold water. We'll let the eggs cool for another 20 minutes. Gastro Bob, if you please.
20 minutes on the clock.
I know what you're thinking. You're wondering, why do we have to let the eggs cool before we peel them? What's the scoop, IQ?
The reason why Link needs to cool the eggs before peeling is this. Ever try peeling an egg while it's still warm? The shell sticks to the egg whites and you end up pulling up chunks of egg white with the shell. The egg ends up looking like the side of the moon with all these craters.
That's one small step for eggs and one giant step for food. Gastro Blast!
The main parts of an egg are the shell, the membrane, the white, and of course, the yolk. When the egg started cooking up, that membrane starts to stick to the shell. By immediately putting that hot egg into ice-cold water, you help separate the shell from the membrane for an easier to peel egg. You're shocking it.
Don't worry, Guinea Page. To shock sounds like you want to upset the egg. But in cooking, to shock means take something out of hot water and plunge it into cold.
4, 3, 2, 1. 20 minutes are up.
We don't start peeling immediately, but we do start cracking. This cracks your eggs and allows a little bit of water in between the shell and the egg. See how easy it is to peel? Look how perfectly cooked our large egg is. The white is firm and the yolk is beautifully golden. Let's check out our small egg. Oh no! There's a green ring around the yolk. Where'd this green ring come from? This sounds like a mystery that needs solving. Eh, detective? Miss Chicken, you've been accused of producing a hard-boiled egg with a greenish ring around the yolk. What? You say you're innocent. Well, let's look at the evidence. Huh? Well, what other explanation can there be?
Well, Detective, the reason has to do with the chemistry of an egg. Egg whites have different natural chemicals, including hydrogen and sulfur. And egg yolks have iron. When an egg is overheated, which is what happens when you hard-boil an egg for too long, the hydrogen and sulfur bond together to form hydrogen sulfide gas. This reacts with the iron in the egg yolk, so where the white meets the yolk forms a greenish color.
You got lucky this time, Mrs. Chicken. Our food lab expert IQ has cleared you of all charges. You're free to go, but I'll be watching you. I get it. The recipe calls for large eggs, and I threw in a smaller egg as well. Basically, the smaller egg needed less cooking time than the larger eggs. And since I left the smaller eggs in the hot water as long as the larger eggs, I overcooked the small egg. That's why it's important to follow recipe's direction on size. It might not look tasty, but it's absolutely safe and fine to eat. Now it's time to devil these eggs. But I got a trick up my sleeve. We're gonna follow the recipe for the filling, but I'm gonna give it a gastroblast twist. We're gonna cut half of the eggs lengthwise and half crosswise. We've carefully scooped our yolks out of our egg halves into a clean bowl. We'll add our mayonnaise, our lemon juice, and salt. Now we're gonna mix with a mixer. If you don't have a mixer, don't worry. You can use a blender or a food processor and whiz. Our filling is ready. You can use a small teaspoon to scoop the filling back into your egg halves. I'm gonna use a piping bag. A piping bag is exactly as it sounds. It's got a small narrow end where semi-solid or creamy foods can be piped. Like icing on a cupcake, or in this case, deviled eggs. But if you don't have a piping bag, don't worry. You can trick one out of a freezer bag.
Freezer bags are great because they're safe to use with food. Not all plastic bags are what is called food grade.
With a pair of scissors, snip a small corner from the bag. Now you can put the filling in and start piping. If you have a piping tip, even better. This is a star tip. Make sure to get the filling deep into the freezer bag so there's no air bubbles. Let's practice piping back into the bowl. It's a good idea to do this as a warm-up till you feel comfortable piping. That way, none of your filling is lost. All you have to do is scoop your practice swirls back into the freezer bag. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of paprika. The paprika will dress the eggs and as well give them a nice flavor.
Are they ready? I'm on tenterhooks to have some of those devilishly good, tasty morsels.
Not yet, Captain Cook. I'm gonna make a garnish to really dress them up. A garnish is an edible decoration, like a cherry on top of a sundae, or chives on top of scrambled eggs. It's totally optional. It's your choice to serve your eggs simple or dress them up. Either way, they're gonna be delicious. If you wanna garnish your eggs, here are some ideas of what you can use to dress them up. Carrots, basil, radish, green onion, pitted olives, pepper, capers, and cucumber. Can you guess what it is? It's a deviled egg spider. Decorated. That's what we did to our food, and it looks so good. These deviled eggs, they wouldn't be complete with garnishes we can eat. Check it out. We made a chick and a mouse and an owl and a bumblebee and a real devil-looking egg.
Yarr, so many devilishly garnished eggs, I can't decide.
How about a pirate deviled egg, Captain Cook?
Yarr!
Impressive. Extremely impressive. There was an unforced error made along the way when Link threw a small egg into the batch, and that small egg ended up with a green ring around the yolk. Fortunately, Link managed to make a quick, but still tasty and edible recovery. It just goes to show you that consistency is key when following any recipe. When a recipe says use large eggs, use large eggs. I had a gastro blast making deviled eggs and garnishing them with you today. See you next time.